So I'm returning to, I'm going to Dada's house with this picture that I'd just gotten. I was holding it. I was really happy to be able to give this to Maharaji because it was a beautiful picture. It just had that feeling of Hanuman embracing Ram. And of course, many of us felt, and many of Maharaji's devotees feel, that Maharaji is Hanuman. That in the Ramayana, Hanuman was given the boon, at this point of this picture, he was given the boon to always be alive on this earth. And in fact, wherever several people are worshiping Ram, Hanuman would be there. And there are many stories that you may hear from other people of people seeing Maharaji with a tail, or they lock him in a room and there are footprints of monkeys on the ceiling, things like that. So anyway, I'm bringing this picture of this moment when Ram embraced Hanuman to give to Maharaji, and almost never would there be a way to get up to the front because it was so crowded at that point, but there was a path up to the front. So I come up to the front and I've got this picture for Maharaji. Now before this moment, whenever I would come to Maharaji with prasad, I'd bring some apples or some sweets or something, my mindset would be, you are the great guru, I'm this unworthy devotee. Please accept this prasad in all my humility and maybe even be nice to me, because I'm really no good at all, but you're the greatest thing that is in the whole universe. But in this particular day, I'd had this experience, I was still in this experience of being wide open with devotion from the Sangam and this Buddhist experience. My mind was completely still. And I had this picture, and I kind of threw it at Maharaji. It wasn't like, I'm giving it to you, but here it is. It was a very selfless act. I wasn't wanting anything in return. I wasn't even feeling like I was giving. It was just like, And he picked up the picture. He unrolled it, and he started looking at the picture. And he started crying. Now, everybody up in the front who could see what was going on, people were just weeping. And the feeling was that he was remembering that moment of Ram and Hanuman embracing. And he looked at the picture, and it was just, there was so much love. It was so thick. The sense of ecstatic love in that moment. And then Maharaji jumped up from the tucket. He gave the picture to Dada and said something in Hindi that I didn't understand, walked out of the room, slammed the door behind him, and didn't reappear for an hour or two. Then, and let me add that if you gave something to Maharaji, other than something very perishable like fruit or sweets or something, it didn't seem like he kept it. I mean, he didn't have any possessions. Like, people would give him blankets or things like that, and almost always it would just like disappear. So several weeks after this experience in Allahabad, we came to Vrindavan, and in the Hanuman Mandir there with the famous Murti that I'm sure you've seen pictures of, maybe you even got to see when you were there in India. Right back behind the Murti on the wall was this picture framed. And my feeling was that Maharaj was able to accept this because I didn't really give it. There was no sense of ownership or giving, or it was one of the purest acts that I had ever done around Maharaji because of the state I was in.